Under these head covers, this man has some new irons. But what are they? We've tested plenty over the years, but Dave's going to lead us off here at Woolley Park and we're going to talk you through exactly what he has got. And that is a nice towering flight onto the fairway. Let's get down there. So guys, as we know, obviously on the channel, if you have been an avid viewer, and if you aren't, do consider hitting that subscribe button. But obviously Dave has been testing a lot of irons. You know, when we try and get a mid-handicap on, we try and get obviously an everyday golfer on, we want somebody who's going to be able to put them through the paces. And Dave's tested a lot out. He got new irons last year. He did get the Tacoma 101 tees. And in previous weeks, we've been for a fitting and Dave has tried even more clubs. You'll see down at SGGT at South Chesterfield, we had Lawrence on doing a fitting for Dave. And obviously a very interesting process. And today we're going to talk through what irons Dave's ended up with, the process of them building these clubs and what is in it. Obviously one of the best fitting facilities, I believe, in the country, if not in the world, that I have seen. And if you're in the area, it's certainly something to check out. Obviously, they also do have a base in Scotland, so depending where you are, there are great options for you to get tested. Again, using a 4-iron, a 6-iron, an 8-iron and a pitching wedge, so you get in the optimums from each club, from bottom to the top of your bag. Now, interesting, we've been out here this morning and that 6-iron right there actually has gone further than Dave's driver this morning.
That's because I nearly put the ball rated with the driver into the pond, Chris. That slowed it down a tad.
It did bounce off that water right there. So Dave's got, well, he knows what he's got here. We've got around about 160 yards into this flag. We know the green is now being rolled and cut by the boys. We are at Woolley Park, guys, so a fantastic course here in Wakefield, just off the M1. We're on the first hole, as you will see by the flyover, a dog leg to the right. That's why Dave went with an iron off the tee. And now he has got which iron into the green?
I'm taking a 6, Chris.
Taking a 6-iron. So
not sure it'll be enough, but I'm just trying them out, you know.
Yeah, just trying them out. So interesting enough, the 6-iron is the longest club Dave has in his bag at the moment, but you will have seen in previous weeks from the fitting that Dave did get the 4-iron working for the first time in about 30 years. It's a fantastic trajectory, and this is what we've done. Obviously, guys, we've tried to change these clubs to get the optimum flight. And what clubs have we got, Dave?
Chris. Yeah.
Let's have a look. So we know that obviously, if you've watched the fitting videos in previous weeks, we still have the Tacoma 101 tees. Lawrence couldn't beat those, but the big thing that we have changed this shaft. So we've gone from a steel to a graphite. We've also gone a lot lighter. We've gone down to 55 grams. And you'll see the sticker on there, which is P, which is for puring the shafts, which I'll show you later in this video. So obviously what that does is obviously gets all the clubs working at the best way. Obviously you'll see in the machine there, this is exactly what they do to see the best way they are going to work the shafts, where they kick. And Dave, so far, we're getting the flight that you want.
It's a much higher flight, Chris.
Yeah.
You know, well, you've seen flight of my golf ball more than anybody else. You know that it's kind of low, but not with these.
No, so obviously shafts are helping there. We've got a good kick point to get them obviously launching in the air. We're still getting the distance. We actually saw that Dave nearly gained a club length in distance, so his 8-iron was going what his 7-iron did, with a higher trajectory, with a better launch, with a better landing angle, which is hopefully going to help him lower his scores this year. So down here we can see 2 irons off this hole, so into the green. Dave's got his distance, so it's not running out as far, so maybe that would have gone over the back in the summer, but fantastic surfaces here. That stopped on the green and left himself a putt. So you'll see the process that we've gone through, guys. Obviously in this fitting, the guys up in Scotland have removed the shafts, so we've got obviously showing you that there. So they take the previous shafts out, they then obviously do the full cleaning process, and then from there it's about getting the new shafts in, which are being pured to find which is the best kick point, and then from there making sure they get the correct swing weight. So very interesting video there on how clubs are built. And again, that's something that you want to see. If you was going for a fitting and paying for a fitting, that's the service that I would certainly want. Is it the service that you would like to see? Pretty good putt, just a little bit short there, but Obviously,
More
when it
uphill than I ever think this.
yeah. But when it comes to fitting, Dave, obviously you was impressed with Lawrence. Obviously, he knew his stuff. Certainly knew a lot more than me about club building.
I was impressed with Lawrence. I was also impressed with the fact that, you know, you're not normally when you go for a fitting, they get numerous 7-irons out and you try all the 7-irons and they take it from there. Whereas, you know, with these guys, it were 4, 6, 8, and a pitching wedge. So you're getting an idea of what clubs through the bag. You know, how they're working, not just the 7-iron.
Yeah, and obviously you tested all the premium brands, so you tested out, again, Titleist, TaylorMade, but obviously Lawrence didn't force you into any clubs.
No.
He just said, obviously, these iron heads, the Tacomos, were performing just as good. It was just the shaft that was holding you back.
Yes.
Can he hold out? Nicely. Good par. So, second hole here, and we are out with a wood here. So, next step for us with Dave is obviously going to get his woods checked, make sure that the right shaft in his woods, make sure we can optimise his distance here. Obviously we want the whole bag to be set up this year to be perfect for him. And Lawrence has even said he'll take on trying to get Dave into the correct driver shaft.
Very brave.
Because Dave keeps trying to say it's the shaft. But you see there, obviously, when we was down at SGGT, we tried all the shafts. You see Dave with all the ones we tried, auto flex shafts, all the ones that are premium expensive. But these are the ones that we ended up with. Good shot, Dave.
Thank you.
So, fantastic shot there with Dave's wood. A little bit low if we was being picky. Is that the shaft? Is that Dave? That's certainly what we'll find out. But this is exactly the kind of shot we've ended up changing these shafts for. So how far have we got, Dave?
We've got 140 yards.
So 140 yards uphill. Need a good landing angle to get it close to that flag. So this is where these shafts hopefully are going to help us out. And again, we've got the badass shafts in there. They are 65 gram regulars. So they were the best ones out of Dave's fitting. So very interesting there, obviously, that those were the ones we went for. Around about 20 grams lighter than, obviously, Dave's steel shafts. Also, what we've also changed is the swing weight. So the feel, obviously, of that head in the club when you're making a swing, that's changed by, I believe, 3 swing weights, which doesn't sound a lot, but obviously it's a massive different feel to you, Dave.
Yeah, I still don't understand quite what it means, but the head doesn't feel as heavy.
Yeah, so it's obviously spreading that weight throughout the shaft, so obviously it does feel a little bit more of it maybe as a one piece, as opposed to it feeling like the head is extremely heavy at the end of the shaft and you don't have the timing to control it squaring up. And so far we've seen that with the shots with Dave.
Like that.
Like that one, right there. So that's just landed up onto the green, so that's perfect example. Good launch, wasn't the best strike, and obviously one other thing they've changed there, normally I believe with that kind of strike, Dave, it would have gone a little bit left.
It certainly would have gone quite a bit left, Chris.
But we know we've changed with Lawrence the lie angle of these clubs to get them a little bit flatter to help Dave get a better interaction with the turf and obviously stop that golf ball going left. And guys, that's one interesting thing in the fitting right there. Lawrence did, obviously, in previous weeks, he did just get the clubs straight in there and bend them in front of you. So he did start to do that, so you can certainly see the difference in your fitting. It's not a case of you hitting shots and then you order some clubs saying they will be 3 degrees flatter. You get to do that in the fitting process. Also, he checked the loft and lie, so made sure that the loft was right. They hadn't been changed over hitting off of mats and playing with these clubs for obviously over a year now. So a great fitting and certainly reaping the rewards now. And that's one big thing for me, guys. Obviously, golf clubs aren't getting any cheaper, as we know, but a good fitting is essential. Making sure you've got the correct makeup, making sure you've got the right shafts that are going to make golf as easy as possible for you is really worth the value. And that's where you've got to think about it. Have you been fitted, or do you buy obviously offline? Do you buy obviously straight from golf shops that you don't test the stuff out as such? Because you need to make sure that everything is set up perfect for you, because a lot of people blame the golf clubs, and you might be right in blaming them a little bit for some of the bad shots because they're not set up exactly how you need it. Right, so you can see Dave just made it, so even with a missed strike, now we've got that lie angle a little bit flatter. We still got the launch and we still managed to sneak it up here. You can see it's done pretty well from pitching there. So very much proving there, obviously, even with that lie angle change, a mistrike will get that a little bit further, because otherwise we could have potentially been down there, or I would have said it would have been a little bit left, maybe in the new fantastic revetted face bunker here at Woolly Park on the second. So 1 par on the first, Dave. Let's see if we can make it 2 in a row with the new clubs.
Let's hope so.
The clubs so far are doing their work, and Dave's protecting them still under his Craftsman Golf head covers. New flagpoles here at Woolly Park, half and half flags. It was a big debate last year. They finally arrived and they're looking good. Well, did it move as much as you thought, Dave?
I was expecting that to swing quite a bit, Chris.
Yeah. I mean, we can say the irons are working. We might need, I don't know if Lawrence, well, Lawrence did say he does putter fittings, so.
I thought you did them.
I do them as well, actually, at Waterfront Golf Cars. If you're looking for a putter fitting or any putter lessons or short game lessons, then do drop me an email on that email below. But can Dave get out of here now?
That was a terrible read, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all the read. Obviously, distance-wise, it is obviously pin high, if you were saying pin high in putting, but pace was good. Read, not so good. But a nice 2-putt, Dave.
Thank you.
And we move on. So guys, we're going to jump now to when Dave received these clubs. So we went down to pick them up at SGGT. We'll show you his actually opening of the box and then his first couple of shots. So when you're receiving your clubs, Lawrence also went through to make sure they still feel all right. The shafts exactly as he expected, and talked through a few numbers. So a great experience there for Dave, obviously, to make sure they're right, pick them up. And again, it was a quick turnaround. He even got himself a nice little woolly hat, Dave, didn't you?
I did. I ain't got it today. It's not cool enough for a woolly hat today.
Cold enough, I'm cold. But Dave got a hat, obviously that's included when they send the packages out. So a very nice touch, and obviously they also sent back the shafts with what Dave had taken out of his Tacoma. So again, fantastic service, very efficient, very quick, and for me, something that you should obviously be checking out if you're thinking about fitting this year. Dave, a true Yorkshireman, he does like a nice surprise, and we've got a woolly hat for Dave.
Happy days.
There we go.
Oh,
look at him.
We do love a woolly hat.
Man's ready. So everything in here. Again, massive thanks to the guys here. You'll have seen the videos from Dave's fitting with Lawrence over the last couple of weeks, so it's now time to test. It's a loosener for young Dave. There you go, Dave. That height straight away.
Yeah.
Just easier for you to get that launch there, isn't it? Just
yeah.
having that line a little bit flatter. Nicely done. So as you'll know with Dave's set, obviously the biggest changes we had were lie angle, swing weight, and obviously what kind of shaft setup we've got in there. So gone from steel to graphite. Obviously Lawrence went through all those numbers in the last couple of weeks, and that's the biggest difference that we've seen with Dave. Obviously we need to get that extra launch, a little bit more control on that ball, and lowering his scores. So far, Dave?
Love it.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely love it.
How does it feel?
Brilliant. I really do feel good.
Good. So this is that 4 iron that we went, the 5 and 4 that we went in that
yep.
slightly lighter shaft just to help with the flight. So that you can still play a long iron because you wanted to.
Yeah.
So this is the 4 iron that we have kept in the bag. Dave might take this in and out, but obviously we're going to show you now the process that they went through to put these clubs together. Fantastic service from the guys here at SGGT. 4 iron. Dave thought he'd never see a 4 iron again.
You're not wrong, Chris. For once.
Lovely shot. Okay, Dave.
172 yards.
You'll take it, Dave.
I will if I'm playing you on a links course.
So we've got a par 3 now here at Woolwich, as you can see by the flyover. It is playing 140 yards. So club, Dave?
7-iron.
7-iron. So Dave's going to need a good one of these, but like we saw from the fitting, Dave gained pretty much a clubbing distance. So obviously he was getting more speed, he was getting a better strike, better launch, better spin. And that's exactly what we've just seen there. That's one of the best iron shots I've seen Dave hit
Ooh, it's nice,
for many a moon. That was a 7-iron. Before, that would have been a 6-iron. So
certainly would.
So let's get up there. As we thought, fantastic shot there from Dave. Normally would have been a 6-iron. Pitch there, and it has ran out maybe.
I actually think that's into a bit of wind as well, you know.
It is into the breeze, yeah. Into off the left. Obviously, what we've got there is a little bit of run out, but with the landing angle. Previously, we might have seen half the height, Dave, and we might have seen it over the back.
Yeah, it really would have been a lot lower. The height that I'm getting off these irons now that they've been properly fitted is completely different. It does make you wonder if it's the shaft and the fitting of the shaft that matters more than the actual iron.
Yeah, obviously that's kind of proved that this time. Obviously those shafts, the KBS Tour shafts that you did have in before, the KBS Tour lights, are a good shaft, but it's all dependent on your swing. Obviously for Dave's swing characteristics, the way he obviously changes direction, the ball flight he gets, obviously his impact factors, these shafts work better for him. Obviously a lot of people use the KBS Tour shafts. The Tacomos come with them obviously as a standard, but it's all, for me now, maybe it's not the technology in the clubs, it's the technology in the shafts.
Yeah, and the surprising part is that I'm getting more height, but I'm getting more distance. You'd think it would be a lower height that would get you more distance because you get more roll.
Yeah, so you're getting the correct launch now, the optimised spin, and obviously as a result you're getting more club head speed and more distance along with that height. So it's ticking all the boxes. Sounds very much like the new Ping G730 irons.
Oh, go on.
Oh, that is a fantastic...
That would have been nice.
Fantastic effort there. But guys, as Dave taps that in, hopefully behind me I can't see that, but obviously what we want to see there, guys, is you make sure that you get fitted correctly this year. Getting the right set for you with the correct shafts, with the correct grips, all the things we went through at SGGT with Lawrence can really help you lower your scores. Because if your equipment's not right, that could be costing you a couple of bad shots. If those bad shots are out of bounds, you're quickly shooting over your handicap. So make sure that you go and get fitted, take the time to test it. Again, for me, there is no other fitting like the one that Lawrence gave Dave, and that's why for me really it was like a tour fitting for a mid-handicap golfer. So guys, hopefully you're enjoying the content, and if you are, do make sure that you do hit that subscribe button below, and we shall see you hopefully out with 9 holes with these clubs back at Waterfront with Dave, where his best score over 9 holes is 4 over gross. See you then.